Today's reading is found in all four of the Gospels, in Matthew 4, Mark 1, Luke 3, and John 3. The primary message centers around baptism, as both Jesus and John are baptizing. And John declares Jesus to be the greater and himself the lesser. And while baptism is key here, I want to spend our time focusing on ourselves. We need to take stock to where we are when it pertains to our opinion of ourselves and the line of sight that is produced in our spiritual and daily lives. Let's start with a question. Who is increasing and who is decreasing? Now, take a moment here. Maybe even pause this video and take stock. Who is increasing and who is decreasing? Who is the one that gets talked about more during your day? Who is the one that gets talked about more in your prayer life? I have come to grips with this myself. I realized that when I prayed, about 90% of my prayer had the focal point as me, as if I was the center of attention, as if prayer was really about me. Our text today sees John's disciples and others almost lamenting that Jesus is getting the credit more than John, that he is stealing the limelight. John sets them and the record straight. Jesus is meant to elevate, and I must deflate. And in doing so, the kingdom of God will increase. And yes, my life will be blessed because it will become more about him and less about me. Have you experienced that in your life? In the moments where you give the attention to Jesus and make it all about him and not about you, you find peace in that decision? Things become clearer. Things start to align in your life. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you give your life to God and everything will become roses and wonderful and worry-free. The challenges still remain. The suffering is still present. But when it's not about you, it's God that handles those issues with you. And when you have God on your side, you're open to those spiritual gifts and fruits that, yes, make life easier. You get peace about where you are in life. You get the patience to endure what you're going through. You find renewed perseverance to take the next step, whereas before, you thought you couldn't take even one more step. Because allowing Jesus to increase, your decrease brings rejoicing. As a friend to the bridegroom, and your joy is now complete. And how are your words? What tends to be on your lips? Again, pause if needed and take stock. What is your typical conversation? Does what you talk about and how you talk change with different social groups? Just as your credit card statement says a lot about what you value in life, so too do your words. What do you talk about? Is your speech in an earthly way or is it in a heavenly way? What do we bear witness to? If you declare yourself as a Christian, remember, everything you do and everything you say represents Christ. So those that don't know Jesus are looking at us to see what Jesus is like. And they will make a majority of their choice based on the perception of Jesus through your words and actions. Words matter, and they matter more than you know. They matter to others, but they also matter to you because when you change your words, you will also change your mood, and your perception of yourself will change. So how's it going for you? Who is at the center of your life? That's a hard question because the world would quickly say, well, of course the center of attention is in your life should be you, right? Everything in this world tells us and affirms that it should be about you. You can do everything on your own. We don't need help. You're strong, powerful, important, and deserving of everything that the world has to offer. But a quick glance at the message of the Bible, we quickly realize that not only is it not about you, that you aren't even the center of attention in your life. But in the end, you also don't have what it takes. You don't fit the bill. You can't do it on your own. And you know what? That's okay. I often hear that God won't give you more than you can handle. I think that's true. I think God gives us things we can't handle all the time. What He is saying and asking is, are you going to allow me to take this for you? Because you can't handle it, but I can. God gives us all sorts of things we can't handle, but then He is asking us to decrease and allow Him to increase. So what needs to get cleaned up? Who is going to do the baptizing? Are you going to try to clean up your own life? Or are you going to allow Jesus to do the baptizing and you get to come along for the ride? What's the center of your story? I hope it's Jesus. If it's not, that's okay. Jesus is still there and will always come to you when invited, no matter how dirty your heart is or how dirty you feel it is. Let's stop exalting ourselves, start accepting Christ, and let's see what happens to our spiritual lives. Let's grab hold of life by letting go of ourselves. Who's increasing? Let's make it Christ.